Alright, for 15 through 18, no pictures. Draw a picture. Follow the description. 15 is talking about 36 to 90. So we should have a long leg. Hypotenuse is always opposite the 90. So long leg, short leg, hypotenuse. It tells us that the shortest side is 8. So that represents my short leg. Another here. So to go from a small part to a larger part, you're always multiplying. If you forget your formulas, don't worry. It's on the formula chart. It tells you from short leg to hypotenuse, that's 2x, so you multiply by 2. To long leg, it's square root of 3, so you multiply by square root of 3. So when we go back to our review, they want to know the long side. So I take that 8, multiply by the square root of 3. That just gets simplified as 8 square root of 3. Alright, so 15 and 16 are very similar. Still doing a 30, 60, 90. The only difference on 16 is now they give you the hypotenuse. So you have to get to the short leg. Anytime we go from a big part to a small part, you divide. If you're not sure, there it is. 17, we did this one in class. Some of us did it without even having to draw the picture. So 45, 45, both of the legs are the same. We do not have short and long for 45. Hypotenuse, they tell us that our hypotenuse in this problem is 20. So we're going from a big part to a small part. So we are going to have to divide. If you're not sure what that number is, you look, I see at my hypotenuse, because my long side here is the hypotenuse, that's the square root of 2. So that tells me I'm dividing by the square root of 2. Where are you? There you are. We cannot leave it written like that. So we rationalize it. We multiply the top and the bottom by the square root of 2. So if you show the division, you get points. You show the rationalizing, points. If you simplify, on top is 20 square root of 2. On the bottom is just 2 points. And then we have to simplify even more, because 2 can go into 20. 20 divided by 2 is 10. So we just have 10 square root of 2. Alright, so 18, we have a 30, 60, 90 again. And they give us the long leg. So we're working back to the short leg, always back to the short leg that you have. Now we talked about the sine, cosine, and tangent. I also told you that they're on your formula chart. If you want to memorize the setup, write it like this on your test to help you, you're more than welcome. But sine is always opposite over hypotenuse. So circle my angle. Who is opposite? That's a cross. That would be 18. Hypotenuse is always opposite the 90 degrees, so that's 30. You will need to give the ratio and the decimal. The ratio is a simplified ratio, so you have to do 18 divided by 30. Oops, that's wrong. Sorry, 18 divided by 30. And we get, I did it again. I did 8. Basically, we should have 3/5. I mean 4/5. No, wait, 3/5. Alright, so, where's it at? There it is. No, that's wrong. 3/5. We're going to change 3/5 to a decimal. On your calculator, you just hit Control Enter, and it converts it to a decimal. If you have problems with this tomorrow, just ask. I will assist you. And that is 0.6. So for cosine, cosine is adjacent over hypotenuse. Who's next to the angle A? That's 24. So we're doing 24 over 30. We're going to simplify that as well. That one is 4/5, which reduces to 0.8. And then tangent is opposite over adjacent. That would be 18 over 24, which reduces to 3/4, which is 0.75. So on this second part, you now have to use the reference angle of B. So your adjacent side is now the 18, not 24. When you go across, 24 is now the opposite. 30 remains your hypotenuse. So opposite of hypotenuse, for sine of b, that would be 24 over 30. Put it in the calculator, simplify it. Then from here, we're going to do trig on triangles. The triangles are going to be given to you. Please remember the couple of facts. For lengths, we're going to round to the nearest tenth. That is basically one decimal place. For angles, nearest degree, that's a whole number. We need to also remember that when x is on top, we multiply, get your answer. X is on bottom. We're going to divide, that's when we switch them, and divide when x is inside the triangle, meaning it is the angle. That's when you take the inverse. If you're not sure what that means, that's all our sine, -1, cosine, -1, and tangent, -1. All right, so you're responsible for all of them. I did the odds, but let me just make sure you have the right setup for a couple evens. Hopefully we have opposite and hypotenuse for here, for 20. Sine of 36 equals 10 over x. X is on the bottom, so this is where I was talking about we switch them. 10 divided by sine of 36. This means we put in the calculator so you get your answer. Here, now x is inside. We still label our parts. Adjacent, hypotenuse. What trig function deals with adjacent hypotenuse? That was cosine. So cosine of x equals 11 over 25. But to get the x, this is when we do inverse. Cosine -1, 11 over 25. This one was 64 degrees, I believe. Yeah. Round to the nearest whole number. So 22, angle, adjacent, opposite. We should be doing tangent. I'll help you out. Opposite over adjacent, 20 over x. X is on the bottom. This is what we do, which was just like on 20. X is inside. We have opposite. We have hypotenuse. That is tangent. So the sine of x equals 5 over 14, but we have to take the inverse. -1 of that sine, 5 over 14. This came out to 21. Once you already did that, we're going to do the inverse here. It's going to be a very, very small angle. That's your hint. Very, very small. Less than 5. And here, we did this one in class. This was adjacent, hypotenuse. Again, we have cosine of 62 equals 50 over x. Now, I know most of these had x on the bottom. That's not what it's always going to be on the test. You will have some on the top, but that takes care of just the triangles. The last video will be over the word problems. Thanks for taking care of that.